Oh, I don't know if it's number 4 or number 5 from this book, notes that I made. This book by Sarah Hendrix, which was the first one I read after being diagnosed with autism. I've done lots of blogs of my own since. I haven't always used that as a reference point, but I made notes when I first read it, and so I'm just sort of, I wanted to get them all together into videos and to, make any comments on the various different areas. Sorry, this looks a bit odd. Anyway, I can't get it. So this one's about sharing. Hendrix said in the book, in early childhood, females with autism have difficulties with the concept of sharing, and for some that doesn't go away. They may have learned that sharing is something that is required and will concede without complaint, but that does not mean that it comes easily. Lending or sharing an item means a loss of control and not knowing where that item is, along with a feeling of insecurity. How will I get it back? This is associated with a preference for routine, sameness, and a dislike of change, specifically change that is implemented by others. One thing that I thought of when I revisited this was lending books. I mean, how often have you lent a book out and not got it back? I've done that. So I'm a bit reluctant to lend books out now, but I have done that myself. People have lent me books and I've kept them. But the sharing thing, although I did share some things obviously with my sister, from childhood, but then again, some things, no, this is my toy, this is mine, but and it's also like my sweets. These are my sweets. I don't want to, it's very much, I don't know if that was to do with insecurity, but we didn't like, I noticed it with other, it might be a young, a lot of children are like that. They have to learn to share, but maybe with autistics it sort of carries on because for those reasons. But Hendrix says, it's a quote from somebody in the book. Says somebody says, the sharing of space when cohabiting causes issues. One of the key factors in my own ability to function well is knowing where every single item I possess is. Always living with other people means that things are moved. The impact of this is huge for me, far greater than simply the annoyance of having to look for or ask for something. Now, I mean, the only people I've lived with are family, and I live with my sister, and when she moves things even, I get very, I mean, we're both ADHD, but I think her ADHD is like when she's tidying, she likes to put a new place for variety or for, being able to clean underneath something. And it's something that I find it harder and harder as I get older, because I like to know where things are. It's like in the supermarket, not that I go into supermarkets these days, but it's that classic thing of moving things around and not knowing where they are. I'm feeling, I need to know where things are. Please don't move them. I understand sometimes the need for change, but when you need to access something, it can be very distressing sometimes. And there's another quote from the book. I hate people to be in my space and my stuff. When I moved in with my husband, I completely freaked out for at least a year. He is now well and truly part of the furniture. So, I think that people being in your space, that's why I couldn't live with anybody very easily. And, my stuff, it's hard enough. I mean, there are obviously lots of benefits from living with somebody, and somebody you get on with and somebody you can feel at home with. And for me, there's only 1 or 2 people I can do that. But yeah, even then it creates a bit of conflict. I need to know where my stuff is, and you're doing things at this sort of time, and there is a lot of compromise to be made, and it is difficult. Even if you're both autistic, you can you can have differences. And I mean, in my book, Little Guide to Unhip, which I am going to rewrite, because I wrote it before I was diagnosed as autistic, but a lot of the things I think, God, yeah, this is so autistic, and I'm going to write it again, you know, through an autistic lens and emphasize those bits. But there's a thing about there when we don't like other people using our cups, my sister and I, or cutlery, or I mean, she is even more than I am about that. And you know, if somebody's had a cold, kind of 10 years ago, she'll never use that cup again. So anyway, I shall finish this one, and I've still got a few more to do, so I might just do another one which I'll upload separately while I'm here. I'll upload it at a different time. Thank you. Bye.